3. Hello, folks. Well, I want to first off and start off by saying that we had an actual nice podcast, and since I am absolutely 100% not computer savvy in any way, shape, or form, I accidentally deleted all of my engineer and co-producer Billy Parker his video. So it's late night, and I know that I promised you guys a podcast. So instead, we are going to be doing a YouTube video for the very first one. And with that said in mind, I'm here, lucky and here and privileged to be at Mr. Eric Rowland's, formerly of Rowland's Customs, formerly of Hubcaps, formerly of Arizona Street Rods. Where else did you work at?
Eye Candy Paintworks.
Eye Candy Paintworks. And this guy is one hell of a painter. I'm really extremely privileged to know him, call him a friend. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted him to be episode 1 of the podcast / YouTube channel, because I kind of screwed it up. I'm sorry again, Billy. But there's a lot that a lot of people don't know about Mr. Eric Rowland, and he's definitely not a man of words, too many words for that matter. It's very hard to get, 3 or 4 conversations with him, especially if you don't know him, and he's very quiet. So I wanted to do something with the Instagram just to get a voice to somebody that you get to meet, just to make it a little bit more personable. And with that set in mind, I definitely wanted Eric. He's a painter of he's painted a lot of things, and in my opinion, I would consider him sort of a ghost builder. He doesn't really like to take credit for a lot of stuff that he does. Well, basically, because to him, it's basically like a job, So, they're customers' cars, and, if a customer doesn't want to give him credit, hey, it's fine. He's that guy that it doesn't matter. I would say, in my opinion, he's kind of like the Ayala brothers, or Joe Balian. These guys that didn't really get the credit that they deserve. And basically, this YouTube / podcast channel is gonna be basically about backyard builders. People that are blue collar workers that work a 9 to 5, and they still do, whether it be hot rods, customs, lowriders, whatever it is, anything with 4 wheels or even 2 wheels or even 3 wheels. So with that said in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Rowland, how you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, man. Thank you again for, first of all, letting me interview you and ask you a couple questions that fellow Instagrammers, are asking. Because that's the greatest thing, if somebody was out in the street and they had no idea, or they did know who you are, kind of like me, I wouldn't know how to approach you. I remember the first actual time that I actually spoke to you. I had known who you were, but I had seen you at a swap meet, and in hindsight, the question I asked you is, hey man, do you do any side work? And you were quick to say, nah. And then I think that was the one thing I got out of you. It was like, oh, no. And
sorry.
no, totally. And I was like, man, I go, that guy's kind of a dick. That's what I thought. And then now knowing, and I know how it is to do side work and stuff like that, that's the least thing on your mind is you really don't want to do side work. You want to go home. You got a regular 9 to 5. You're a father. Your husband, and why do more work than you have to? And I totally get it.
Yeah.
So tonight I got a couple of questions I'm going to ask you. We'll keep it short and simple. It's not as pretty as the first video that podcast that with an actual microphone that Mr. Billy Parker did. But this we're kind of doing old school.
I like it like that.
Yeah, we're doing a phone. You invited me to your home, and I know, and it's very personable, and it's just like 2 guys just sitting out here, talking and asking some questions. So you feel comfortable with that?
Of course.
Okay. So the very first question that I got was from a gentleman named Chase. When I get more better at this whole Instagram slash YouTube slash podcasting, I'll be able to put people's like hashtags and stuff. But the very first question was, Eric, what was your first reaction to when Roger first asked you to paint his 1954 Chevy Morphine? Now that's a beautiful car. I've seen it in person. I've seen it at GNRS. Gorgeous. And did it feel like more pressure than usual because of the press and the attention that the car would be getting, simply because the car is obviously Roger Merritt's car, and being a winner at GNRS? So let's break that question down. So pretty much, how'd you feel, and what'd you feel about that?
When we had first talked about it, I was terrified. I'm confident in what I do, but I wasn't confident that I could achieve what they were talking about. It was in the beginning. It was him and Mike, and that was Mike's vision, and Roger's vision also. But I kind of that's how I met everybody. Is through the build of that car. I started hanging out and helping out with little finishing stuff here and there, and then they started coming around more and more. Me and Mike hit it off. Me and Roger hit it off. Like we were all really good friends. As far as the pressure for that car, it wasn't bad. I think that everybody involved one-upped each other. Like, we all saw from the get-go what was going on. It was special. What was going on with the car was special. So everybody brought their A game plus. So from Mike's metalwork to Roger's vision to him being pretty certain on what he wanted with the car. He was very hands-on. He was there every day that the car was either being blocked or whatever. Like, he's there in the mix doing it right along with us, but we would always go back and forth. We would send pictures back and forth about, like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? We like really artistically vibed with it through the whole thing, but there was pressure, but it wasn't bad pressure. It was more like coming out of your skin, I guess, is just stepping up your game to the best of your ability and then some.
Okay, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Now I'm gonna piggyback off this question, and this is like a personal question. Is out of that whole build on that '54 Chevy, did you have like an added special touch that you did, or like something that you really liked about the car that you did? Like, as far as like, you talked to Roger, and Roger had like a vision, and then you kind of like added a little bit of like Eric's touch, or something that you did that you really liked.
The seaweed flames, like, we had paneled it the night before. He was getting ready to go to Europe, and came by the next day, and I was like, look, I want you to look at something. He walks in, and I had already taped out the hood, just like, dude, what do you think about this? And he was like, I love it. Let's just run with it. Let's do your thing. Send me pics first, of course, but he
obviously,
was heading to Europe. So it was a lot of back and forth, and just a lot of picture taking and time differences, and it was we got it done, but by the time he came back, it was ready for clear, and we pulled some late nights, doing finalizing details, and
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful car, and not only that, but it definitely shows that it was definitely a labor of love, that there's so much artistic views behind it, and it's just beautiful. Like, I mean, it's traditional custom with a little bit of lowrider flavor to it.
Yeah.
It's got that little bit of, in a lot of lowrider guys, I believe, they really do appreciate the car. Not only because it's an early '50s Chevy that is like really popular amongst, the the lowrider community, but just the flame job, the seaweed flames that you added to it, the patterns, the the pearl. It has pearl in it, right? It's got
Yeah,
some sort of like,
it's got a platinum ice pearl
okay,
over, just real, real faint,
yeah,
Nothing crazy, but just enough to pop a little bit.
it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And another question that I'm gonna go off of is just on this build, because I think right now that's probably like, I know you have other builds, but from the questions that I've gotten asked from on Instagram, a lot of people, that's pretty much like a recognizable car as far as like that you definitely got your hands on. Now I know that you have a lot others, and but on that vehicle, from beginning to end, give or take, when you actually got down to the nitty gritty, how long, how much work or hours you think you got into that vehicle?
I would say probably about 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was back and forth. Like I started working on it when I was still a prospect,
Nice.
and it got moved to my shop. But I've been in the Rumblers for 8 years now, so
Nice.
we yeah, it's been a long, crazy build.
Long day coming.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the next question. Let me see. I got this all stuff on Chicken Scratch, and I'm sorry guys for the background noise as far as the dogs and whatnot. And like I said, this would have been a lot more professional, but I'm horrible at internet stuff and downloading and moving files and all this other stuff. So I deleted the first one. So you guys can blame me. Second time, next one will be better. So, but hey, the first is always, well, I don't know. I'm just going off. All right, man. So what kind of advice would you give to someone who is wanting to get into doing custom paint work? And this is from Trevor, and I think what he's asking, I don't know. Trevor, don't get mad at me. I don't know, but I'm thinking maybe if you wanted to start off like as a business of basically doing like hot rods or customs, or just any type of paint work, what kind of advice could you give to somebody like that?
Um, you know, it's going to be the same with anything paint and body related, automotive wise, is know your adhesion. Don't skip steps. Don't get impatient. Don't pull tape too early, but don't pull it too late. Just exercise patience. Don't try and do everything fast, because it's never going to happen that way. And stick to your guns. Don't let anybody underbid you, for sure.
Yeah, there'll always be those guys.
Yeah. And that was, I experienced that firsthand. Just being a business owner, it was like, people want to take advantage of that. They think that you're there to give them the hookup anytime, anywhere. So.
Oh yeah, I definitely, I know my fair share of that one. Like, and you definitely, if you're gonna start off, and you're gonna do it. This is my little bit of advice, and this isn't even my interview, but you end up putting your foot in your mouth if you do it, and then you're gonna regret it later.
Yeah.
Can you agree with me on that? Yeah. You'll be like, oh man, yeah, I told him that I would hook it up, and then next thing you know, you're ending up spending money out of your pocket, because you material.
Now you're fixing rust.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, man. So I got another question. I'm working on a 1972 El Camino, and the El Camino, we plan on putting racing stripes onto the hood. Is it possible to paint the stripes first, then the rest of the car, without leaving hard lines? The message is from Will.
The only way to get rid of hard lines is just to bury it in clear. There's no crazy trick that's ever going to happen. I would I would lay out my base first, and then I would mask, the base color of the stripes. I would lay that out first.
So if you're gonna paint
base my area first in the color that I'm gonna do the racing stripes in, and then mask those off and do your rest of the body color after that, and then bury it real nice with clear. Don't get crazy, don't flood it, but you know, if need be, knock it down and re-clear that area, you know.
Okay, so if I'm gonna paint black racing stripes on, let's just say, 1992 Camaro or an IROC, 92 IROC, okay, and black racing stripes, I'm gonna paint the hood the same color as the stripes and then mask that off.
Just the general area. You
Okay.
don't have to do the entire hood, because then you'll start getting, you know, weird color
Yeah.
differences
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But just the general area. Like, say you got, like, you know, that's just the way I would do it.
Okay, cool, man. All right, so I had a couple of extra questions. I'm gonna go ahead and leave those out, just for the fact. I'm sorry, guys, with the Instagram and me having to hold this in my hand, trying to keep it as steady as possible, my phone, while looking at this this cool looking Merc. But I got one last question for you. This is from me, actually. This is from me. Yeah, this is from me.
Oh no.
So it's a really simple question. Who would you fuck? Who would you marry? And who would you kill? I have the category is George Barris, Larry Watson, and Bill Hines.
Kill Barris, fuck Watson, and marry Hines.
And why is that?
Why not?
Okay, yeah, I mean that's fair enough.
Watson's a fucking ruler, and I think Hines went the longest distance.
Okay,
I think he definitely he took that one
so you're going for like
all the way to the end.
so you're definitely-
I like longevity.
yeah, you're going for a long distance marriage, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, that's
I
fine.
don't hate Barris, but I mean, fuck.
But he's the guy with the money, though. You could have lived
Money is-
you could have
money-
lived a luscious life.
Money is nothing.
Yeah, that's true. It comes and it goes.
I've
Like,
been broke my whole life.
okay, yeah, all right, on man. Well, thank you guys very much. If you guys are watching this podcast / YouTube channel, and hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna have a couple of others if I get good reviews. So leave a message or comment. I'm not gonna get offended. You know, no offense to anything. You know, so.
I'll totally get offended though. On the other hand.
Oh yeah,
I'm
absolutely,
just kidding.
absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, guys. Enjoy your guys' Thanksgiving. I know most of you guys are at work on Monday, and I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna. This gives you something to listen to at least for that first couple of, that first half hour of your day or your shift or whatever. And happy Thanksgiving. I want to give a special shout out to Jason Thornhill, JT Nuts. Happy birthday. It's your 40th birthday, buddy. Happy
Shit,
birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf in the house, yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Eric Rowland, for
Thank you.
the very first interview and / podcast. I want to give a shout out to everybody that hit that like button on Instagram and gave me the, the confidence to basically do it. It's just like anything. If you don't try and it's just something you thought about, somebody else is going to do it, or you're just going to regret that you never fucking did it.
Exactly.
So with that said in mind, guys, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Mr. Eric Rowland. Everybody have a good night and a good morning or whatever. If you guys work the night shift, day shift, everything. Thank you, guys.